他在想什么呢？
She asks what you're thinking.
We're just looking at their room. Kai had described the room to me. I was just remembering what he said.
他在看您的房间。卡以前跟他说过，他现在觉得很高兴。
Is that Kai?
是不是卡呀？
是啊，他在4、5岁的时候，很可爱，是吗？
He was 4 or 5 years old. She thinks he looks really sweet.
This is for you. It's Kai's ashes.
这是凯的骨灰，他要您保留着。
You should have his ashes. I'm sorry that I fought over them with you.
Can we just talk about your cast? Because they're quite an extraordinary lineup. You're a first-time feature director. How on earth did it happen? You've made 2 shorts, which you presented in this festival. Where did you get such amazing talent from?
God, you know, I don't know. We had, you know, I wanted Ben and we wanted Pepe, and we felt we had nothing to lose. You know, the worst they could say was no. And Carmel was really fierce, and she passed it to his agent. I don't know. It was well, I mean, I guess I've always, to be fair, I think in the film I felt Richard was a character that took us into her world, and her world is very passive, and I really wanted somebody that I felt had the kind of the strength to do that. And it's entirely Ben that takes us into her world, and if you don't come from that culture, you need somebody that's really captivating to engage you.
So we've got a lot of people on stage. We're going to try and get them all to speak. So could you each, maybe we'll start with Ben, since you're quite key. And you've been filming today, so we're a bit surprised.
Can we sit down? I feel a bit weird standing in this line.
You can sit here. You can sit here.
Okay, I'll do that then.
I may stand, being slightly formal.
I'll stand.
No.
I'll stand. Oh God, it's fine. I just felt more comfortable.
Could you just tell us something about your character and what attracted you to the script?
Well, I read the script when I was in Australia in the summer of 2012, and I just remember that it really stayed with me. I didn't know who this person was who'd sent it, and I think I knew anything about it, but I just thought it was incredibly sincere and moving, and it seemed to have its own. It was confident in itself and what it was, which I thought was unusual, and so I felt immediately, really, even before I met Hong, that it was something I would really like to do. And then we met, and that was all lovely. And what else happened?
Well, maybe we'll ask Peter. Peter, then,
quickly, didn't it? Yeah.
Do you want to say something about your character?
Nothing like me. The joy for me on this film was working with Hong and meeting Ben, who I've admired for a number of years. And although we didn't have much to do, we chatted quite a bit, which was a great joy for me. And in the terms of the acting, working with Pepe, who I actually did fall in love with. She's the most wonderful person, a wonderful actress. The film was a joy. It was shot very, very quickly. I think I was only on it for about 3 days, But the atmosphere, the enthusiasm in the rooms that we worked in was inspiring. You see, when you get a really, really good script, it excites everybody, you know. And every single person in that room was excited. And I was there as well, and I was very grateful. Thank you.
So maybe... Morven, do you want to just tell us something about your character? You weren't there for a huge amount of time,
No,
but you made an impression.
I think I only did, I mean, if Peter's saying he did 3 days on set, that's definitely not true. I think I did 6 days or something like that. But it was, you know, shot in 5 minutes for £1.20, and I guess the thing is that for me, it was less, wanting to be involved in the film was less to do with the role itself and just more to do with the script and more to do with Hong. Carmel, the casting director, when she sent, when I was offered it and she sent things, she sent the script and she sent a director's statement that Hong had written. And it was fairly short, just a page or something. But I knew within just a couple of sentences of reading that I wanted to be part of it. Just because I think that there are a very limited number of people who are truly writing from a really personal place within themselves. It takes a lot of courage. And those are the kind of people that I want to work with. Those are the kind of the experiences that I want to have as an actor. Those are the kind of directors and writers that I want to serve. So that's what it was for me, and it was joyful. And given all the time pressures and the financial pressures, the amount of passion that was in the room, I think was testament to the script and to Hong.
Indeed. And you're not related, but you're also called Christy. This is Naomi Christie. Can you just tell us about your character and what the experience was like working with this talented cast?
I think, like Morven, these scripts, I felt when I first read it that I could really relate to. I didn't actually think I would ever get the part. So I remember turning up to the audition with just rushing. I was late with a big suitcase. I just come back from Manchester and just thinking this is just going to be the worst day. But Hong, it was amazing working with Hong and the rest of the cast. And I'd never done anything on screen before, so they really, yeah.
So Andrew, you've got your own mic.
Oh, yes I do.
So you are the centre of the film, really. You're the absent but always present Kai. How was it for you?
Well, yeah, I guess...
Maybe speak a little closer to the microphone.
So, I think, yeah, it's very haunting, the whole piece when I read it. And I think Kai as a character, he had a big impact, a very, very kind, very, very sort of soft, like a soft power he had over people, like, but in a very loving. He was a loving character, and yeah, just like, and that's like come from Hong's spirit, and yeah, his relationship with his mum and the responsibilities that he had to take on and the pressure that he's under to come out to her, and the guilt that he carries, in putting her in a home, and like he's under a lot of pressure, and when he passes away, I guess that all of that pressure is kind of passed on to Richard, which is very tough, and yeah, it was when I read it, it was I found it very haunting and very delicate the way that Hong dealt with it, and the fact that it covers, like, it's across cultures, and yeah.
So Hong, has your mother seen the film?
No, she hasn't. No, only because we couldn't afford to subtitle it into Chinese for her. She doesn't speak English. So.
So there's a little bit of
But she knows about it. So.
She does know about it. It's not that you're hiding it from her. But I think it's interesting that there's just a little bit of autobiography. What? No. Hi, Mom. Well, she'll see this on BFI Live tomorrow.
The structure was always there in the script, in the way you move between the past and the present, and to be fluid about it. And that also came from a film I saw. I don't know, when I was writing it, there was a film that stayed with me all the time. It was a John Sayles film called Lone Star. And he did very similar things, and he used shadows instead. And I thought it'd be quite interesting if you have them change their clothes behind the camera and reappear in a different timeline. She was incredible to work with. You couldn't, on a set, she was always on set. You couldn't move her. Even in really stressful time when we were moving the lights and it was really dangerous, she just constantly wanted to sit on set all the time. And the crew really fell in love with her. She kind of became a mother to them. It sounds like a cliche, but she really became kind of grandmother to them. I mean, it does come from a very personal place in that I think the premise of it is very personal, and which is that my mum is like that in the sense that she doesn't speak English. But you take that idea and you have to kind of plot it, and you have to dramatize it, and you have to really reimagine certain things. But the grief and that came from a personal place as well, I guess. You kind of, I think it is personal, but at the same time, that's not my life, so to speak. It's odd actually. Before we shot it, I didn't think there would be that much music, and it was in the editing that we decided that we needed, and I didn't want too much music because I think the story is very emotive already, and so we decided to go with very sparse style of music, and sometimes I think it's just really ethereal, textural stuff really, more than traditional composed music.
So the film is out under Artificial Eyes banner in the summer. That kind of means June, I think. So tell all your friends. It's a film that will benefit enormously from word of mouth. We're very excited to have it in the festival, and thank the entire cast and Hong Kong for bringing it to us. Thank you very much.